glad that you're allowed to vote? Well, if you are, then thanks Susan B. Anthony, Julia Howe, and Elizabeth Stanton for helping make that possible.
Susan B. Anthony, Julia Howe, and Elizabeth Stanton worked very hard to make women's suffrage possible. In 1872, Susan B. Anthony tried to vote in an election, was arrested, and found guilty for the crime because women were not allowed to vote then.
Susan refused to pay the fine of $100 for her voting illegally, because she knew that she needed to start somewhere for women to get the right to vote. She was put on trial in court, and they wrote the proceedings of the account of the Susan B. Anthony trials. She did make a big difference, though, still, even to this day. In the 2016 election, in November, hundreds of people flocked to Susan B. Anthony's gravestone in Rochester, New York. Since she worked so hard to achieve women's suffrage, people thought that it was appropriate to put the stickers on her grave. They thought that she deserved it after all the work that she had done. Susan B. Anthony was so serious about what she was trying to achieve that she didn't even smile in any of her pictures because she wanted to be taken so seriously.
Susan B. Anthony, Julia Howe, and Elizabeth Stanton marched along with others for the fight for women's suffrage. For those of you who don't know what suffrage means, it means the right to vote.
In 1920, the 19th Amendment was passed, allowing women to vote. Even though Susan B. Anthony was the one who got all that started, she never got to legally vote before she died.
But in voting, she started something incredible.
There were also many weird reasons why women weren't allowed to vote.
One reason was because 90% of women either didn't want their suffrage or didn't care, which isn't even close to true.
Considering the fact of how hard Susan B. Anthony and the other women fought for their suffrage.
Another reason was because some people even thought that letting women have the right to vote would cause evil.
Susan B. Anthony grew up in a very politically active family. Her family was involved in helping end slavery in what was called the abolitionist movement. Susan's family was also a part of the temperance movement, which was meant to limit or completely stop the sale of alcohol. In 1851, Susan B. Anthony met Elizabeth Stanton. They became very good friends because they had very similar political likes. Then in 1869, they founded the National Women's Suffrage Association. Although Susan B. Anthony and Julia Howe never actually met, they were very similar in many ways. They both wanted the same thing, women's suffrage. Susan B. Anthony was the first woman to be honored so much for what she did. In 1979, a United States dollar coin was minted with Susan's portrait on it. The coin lasted up until 1981. They got rid of the coin because of poor public acceptance.